Okay folks, so it's become time to answer the question that has been burning a hole in so many people's pockets, and that is watering and irrigation. So my lawn is 20,000 square feet. I've got a lot of lawn. I've got 7,500 here, 3,000 here, another 3,000, and about 7 in the back or something like that. So it's a lot of lawn, and I've got a lot of zones. So I've got a couple of different styles of sprinkler heads. So the first style of sprinkler head and the main style of sprinkler head that I have at my house are these Rainbird 5000 heads. These have a 3/4 inch inlet, and they kind of have these heads that look like this. Okay, you can change these little nozzles out. They come with these little nozzle sets like this, depending on if you want to spray a far distance or if you want to spray a low angle or a short angle or just a short distance. These are pretty good. These are called Rotor Sprinklers. Then I've got the MP Rotators. I don't have an example of that, but they sit on this style of head and they kind of come up, and then they are kind of a mixture between the old style pop-ups that just pop up and spray and then these rotor styles. So those are my second favorite kind of sprinklers. Those things are a lot better than these rotors. I don't like these. The reason I don't like these kind of sprinklers is they tend to just arc over like this and throw most all the water towards the very end of the arc, and kind of they don't really spray at all in between the end of the arc and the beginning of the arc. So these ones are okay, but not great. I don't really like these, and if I was to do it all over again, I wouldn't put any of these at my house. So the last kind of sprinkler head that I've got 3 different kinds. There's just this certain style right here. It's the pop-up that just pops up and sprays, go like that. And so the head kind of looks like this. There's lots of different kinds of heads that shoot further away and shorter, and you can do like side streams and left sprays and right sprays, and ones for like parking strips and stuff like that. But I've got these for my beds. These are my favorite style of sprinklers because when you turn them on, they put a lot of water out very quickly, and you don't have to run the sprinklers for very long. The downside of these is you have to put a lot more in, and it costs more money because you have to put them a lot closer than say you do with one of these rotors, okay? So these style right here, the pop-up and spray, are my absolute favorite. I think they cover a lot better and they cover quickly. The rotors tend to like blow in the wind and they're just not that great. So this has a 1/2 inch inlet and this one has a 3/4 inch inlet. These are okay. I like these both, but these are the best, the pop-up and spray, for my application and in my opinion. My opinion is not necessarily the opinion of everybody else, but that's what works best for me. If you can see up there, I've got that black pipe running across here, and that's what feeds these flower baskets and these flower pots down here. The black pipe comes from right here, comes down around here, and then it comes out of a sprinkler head right there that's buried under the ground. And then here's the valve box right here that has a pressure reducer for a drip line. It's made specifically for a drip system. These are my valves in here, and I've got the reducer that runs this drip section. So when I set this all up, I had originally planned on not having this nice of a landscape at all, and I had planned to just do my beds on a drip system and had very minimal landscape. And so that kind of changed as I kind of got more and more into this. So I decided to do the pop-ups with the spray, so I don't have a drip system. The folks that did my sprinkling system for me put in this drip zone to handle all of this, and that's kind of what I've adapted to be able to run and water these flower pots here. So this little pipe right here is part of the drip system that the people that installed my sprinkling system, and I just haven't ever cut this off. So if I wanted to, I could hook a drip line up to this pipe and it would be on my drip zone, and I could drip all of these flower beds, some of these pots right here, and then just anything that I would have wanted to do on a drip, I could use this line right here. Okay, so here's my sprinkler timer right here. I've got this in my garage. This is a Hunter Pro C, and I realize that this is an old model. Yes, I do know about the ratio controller, and I would like to have that, but it's 300 bucks, and I just don't have the money to spend on that right now. And so I am making do with this. So the burning question that everybody wants to know is, how often do I water my lawn and how much do I water it? So if I turn this to the watering days, it shows I'm watering on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. So that's 4 days out of the week. So I've got one MP rotator zone. I run that for about 37 minutes. And then the zones that I have my other rotating heads, the rotors, that put down water a lot slower, I run it for about 50 minutes or 45 to 50 minutes. And then I've got the pop-ups in my beds. I run that for about 14 minutes in the beds. And then I've got another one that I run for 15 minutes in the beds. So I have this thing set to start at 8:15 p.m. and I know that I'm super evil for doing that. So what you need to remember is that I live in a very dry, arid climate. This is a desert state and it's very dry here. So I start it and run it in the middle of the night. And the reason I do that is because I have, 10 or 12 zones that need to run. And when they all run, it takes about 8 hours, 9 hours or so. So when I wake up in the morning, the sprinklers are actually still going. So I like it to run in the night so it doesn't evaporate off really quick. And I know that's really bad. You're supposed to run the sprinklers in the early morning, but I can't really do that unless I separate the zones. Maybe I could do some zones this day and some zones this day, but I just want them all to run the same day. So where do I get my water from? I have a well here and I pump the water out of the ground. So it's not terribly expensive for me to use more water than, say, if I was on a culinary system or a city system. I kind of live in the country, and so I have a well. Most people around here have a city source, but I elected to drill a well. I just kind of wanted to when I built my house. So how much does my water cost? I don't really know for sure how much more I'm spending on my water bill because it's kind of combined with my electricity. Probably spend on average maybe an extra $20 or $30, $40 a month in the summertime when I'm watering a little heavier than others. But so I kind of pump it up out of the ground, I sprinkle it, it kind of goes back down into the ground, and then I pump it out of the ground again. So it's really not too big of a deal. A slug! There's a slug, guys. There is a slug right there. Look at that nasty old slug right there. See him? Ooh, you gross. You are nasty. So would you look at that? Coming out here to do my thing and I find a slug. So anyways, the water. I tend to water my lawn when it looks dry. Yes, I have it on a schedule, but if it looks dry, I'll turn the irrigation on. So I like my lawn this short. I'm going to continue to cut it this short. I've been cutting it this short all throughout the summer and it's been working just fine. I'm still at 5/8 of an inch. And I'll continue to cut it at 5/8 of an inch. So as I continue to make more videos, there's some vendors that are reaching out to me and saying, hey, I want to send you something of this and that. And so I was doing a video spraying my T-Nex. I didn't have any PPE on and I got a lot of yelling and screaming going on at me in that video. So a guy from this company called Golden Protective Services, you can look them up on the web. They sell PPE along with a bunch of other stuff. He contacted me and said, hey, I want to send you some PPE. And I said, well, okay, how much does it cost? And he says, I just want to send it to you. So I was like, okay. And so he's the one that sent me that big face shield that I had in one of my videos and those big gloves that I had. He sent an apron and some sunglasses and stuff. So he sent me these safety glasses here. And these are fantastic safety glasses. So he sent me a pair of these and they got scratched up. So I told Chuck that I wanted to buy 4 more pair of these safety glasses, gave him my credit card number and said, go ahead and charge it. But he said that your money was no good with me, and so I was like, okay, whatever. And so he sent me 4 pairs for free, and so I want to give away a pair. So I'm going to give away a pair on this video, and so if you want to enter to get a free pair of these safety glasses, I'll mail those for free. You got to leave a comment below, and then you have to say in the comment somewhere, yo dog. If you don't say yo dog, then you are disqualified. You can say anything else in that comment field about free glasses, this or that or whatever, but if you don't say yo dog, you don't get to be entered. You also have to be subscribed. So anyways, so let's do that and give those away as well. This is a pretty cool perennial right here. It's called Yarrow. So you completely shave it off in the fall and you just kind of leave a little bit of roots in the bottom. And then these are Shasta Daisies. These are cool. I got this from my mom. She just gave me a start. And I probably got starts for almost all of these plants. A lot of these plants I got for free from family or friends or neighbors or whatever, but this one's dang cool. It's called Yarrow. So the Yarrow's kind of got these tight flowers that look like this. They look like this. They're kind of cool. They're just kind of all tight together. I like them. So if I didn't answer any of the questions that you guys have about my irrigation schedule or whatever, I will be happy to answer those questions. Yes, I do water the lawn a lot, and yes, I kind of do baby the lawn, and yes, it probably takes more water than the average lawn. I kind of don't necessarily go with the hard, rigid schedule of, hey, water the lawn just like this and exactly this amount of water. I more so kind of go by looking at the lawn and seeing if it looks dry. If that day it's looking dry and if I can tell it's kind of starting to look crusty a little bit, I'll turn the water on, even if it's not going to go according to my schedule. So some weeks I put a lot more water on than others, and some weeks I don't put hardly any water on. So the irrigation is kind of one of those things. It's like I don't have a set schedule, and I know that's pretty bad, but you know, I'm the lawn rebel. I just break rules here, there, and everywhere. So I appreciate you guys watching these videos, and let's resume in the next one.